This is our notes for social studies today about monotheism and polytheism. Okay, you're going to need this sheet that I gave you in class today, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write at the very top of the page. First, I want you to write the word polytheism and put an equal sign because we're going to define this word. Polytheism means belief in more than one God, and I'm very sorry it's fuzzy. My camera was fuzzy. For example, ancient Egypt, there were lots of gods and goddesses that people worshipped. In ancient Greece, again, lots of gods and goddesses. Hinduism, lots of gods and goddesses. Norse or Viking gods, lots of gods and goddesses. And there are lots of other places and cultures around the world that have multiple gods and goddesses. Okay? Monotheism, on the other hand, is belief in only one God. And there are several religions in the world today that are monotheistic. We're going to talk about these three, and that's why we have the chart. So please make sure you have everything written down at the top of your page before you go on to the chart. We are going to fill in the small boxes in our table, and then the larger boxes we're going to save and do during class tomorrow. We're going to start with Judaism. Judaism began in a place called Canaan, which is today in Israel, the country called Israel. You know where that is on the map because we did a map in class. People who follow Judaism are called Jews. The original language for Judaism was Hebrew. Everybody spoke Hebrew, everybody wrote things down in Hebrew. The holy city or site for Judaism, the main one at least, is Jerusalem. This is where the Jews had their main temple, etc. When Jews go to worship, they go to what they call a temple. And their name for God is Yahweh. It's spelled in all caps YHWH because in Hebrew that word does not have any vowels, and it's very particular because technically you're not supposed to say that word out loud. It's an abomination. So we add in vowels so that we can say the word out loud. And we'll talk more about that in class. Another name for the Jews was also Jehovah for a while. The founder of Judaism was Abraham. They consider him to be the father of Judaism. And Jews have two main holy books. The Torah is the main one. The Torah is the same thing as the first 5 books of the Old Testament in the Bible. And that is their main holy scripture. But they also use the Talmud and some other different scriptures. Now, on to Christianity. Christianity also began in Israel, as well as the neighboring country at the time of Judea. People who follow Christianity are called Christians. The original language for a lot of Christianity was Greek. At the time, it was it started during the Roman Empire, and everybody at the time all over the Roman Empire spoke Greek. Some people spoke Latin in certain places like Rome, but everywhere in the empire they spoke Greek. Jerusalem is also a holy site for Christians. We'll talk more about why tomorrow during class. Christians go to worship in a place called a church. They don't call it a temple usually. Their name for God is God. That's kind of where we get that overarching name for gods and goddesses. We get it from the Christians. The founder of Christianity is a man named Jesus. And again, we'll talk more about him in class when we talk about doctrine. And the Christian's main holy book is the Bible. Some denominations of Christianity might use other books, but everyone who's a Christian uses the Bible. All right, Islam. The place that it started was a city called Mecca, which is in Saudi Arabia. You need to put Saudi Arabia in parentheses so that you remember where the city is. People who follow Islam are called Muslims. The religion is not called Muslim, but the people who follow it are called Muslims. The language for Islam is Arabic, and in fact their holy books are written in Arabic, and it is required that you read the Holy Scriptures in Arabic, otherwise they don't count. Mecca is a very holy site because the religion started there, but also the city of Medina is very important. Both of these cities are in Saudi Arabia. The place of worship for Islamic people is called a mosque. That's the Arabic word for temple. The Arabic word for God is Allah, and so that is what Muslims call their God. And it is disrespectful to call God anything else besides Allah. You're not allowed to call him God. You have to say Allah. The person who started Islam was called Muhammad, not Muhammad Ali the boxer. This guy, Muhammad, was born way, way, way before him. Muhammad Ali was named after this guy, not the other way around. And their holy book is the Quran. It's spelled two different ways, depending on whether you're spelling it in Arabic, that's the Q way, or in American, that's the K way. All right. The other two rows we are going to talk about in class tomorrow. So please leave these blank and make sure the rest of your table is filled in for the class tomorrow. And that is the end of your notes. Congratulations.